Is my finger, and you remember him. You told us he was a water oak. He just keeps growing. He's a beautiful tree. Um, this is what we call the bird garden. We've had different names for it over the years, um, but it's the bird feeder garden. We tend to name them based on stuff, and we have our bird feeders here. And there's two different kinds of plants here: bee balm, there, 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 and I forgot what this guy is, but they grow to be about 5 foot tall, 4 or 5 feet tall. These here are sunflowers that grow because the birds are pigs, and they make a mess, and they spread the seeds all over. So they will have fun with it. Some birds don't seem to be bothered by me. They'll come when I'm here. Um, This is our bird bath. We just got that this spring. Typical Churchill. Go get one. Monkey grass here, and down through here we got for free from my neighbor. She dug it out of her courtyard because she hated it. And they were just little bitty guys, about the size of this guy. Some of these guys on the end haven't done well. These guys are going nuts. And I ran down here. You can see there's a berm, and I think you don't know if you remember, but this all fills with water when it rains. This is the high water mark right about here, and it runs down through here. Last year, this was just a dirt hill. Over the years, the topsoil eroded away. So I bought a whole bunch of monkey grass and planted it, mulched it, and that crap. More monkey grass. This fence came down shortly after I bought it. Moved some monkey grass from out front where I sodded, and so I put it over here because it erodes. And this is my overflow chute. Put the fence up this year. Close that area off. That's my property line, and there's utilities back there, but they're not on my property, and I don't care. And I called the utilities, and they said, fine, we'll make them open up their side. And this is the world's ugliest tree. I hate it. I'm cutting it back, but I got to bring a service in this year because I can't reach anything. But you can see it just wants to run. I got roots all up through here from that tree. The back porch. We bought the house. We had the upper one 15 years or 10, 12 years ago. Colin and I built this one, the lower deck. At the same time as I planted the curb garden with the succulents, we did it out here. And it's crappy soil. And it just turned into this, which is holding the soil, so I don't care. I tested some monkey grass over here, and it's growing. These are in the courtyard, these 3 plants. They were doing crappy, so they got ripped out. The reason we redid the courtyard was because the flooding was getting up against the house, and I didn't like it. And there's some grass that I planted this year. There's dirt from the courtyard I dug out to lower it so we can put the sod in. Honeysuckle. Our shed, which we bought because Pauline was and Lewis were moving in, and we needed to store stuff. So, but right now it's basically my tools and flour. This is what we call the butterfly garden, more the bee balm. It's not being tended to this year. We're not sure what's going to happen to some of these plants. They got really hurt by the freeze. This is Lindy's garden back here. That's called the golf garden because this is Lindy's golf area in the hole. This is my hive. You asked if the bees died. Yes, bees die rather quickly. They have a short lifespan. They live about a month, maybe 6 weeks. They go through cycles. They start out working inside, they move towards the gate, then they move to be gate keepers, and then they become harvesters, and then they become foragers. And the older they get, the closer to death they get, and the farther away from the hive they go. Put in a weather station this year. I got my little wind gauge. Put a little solar lamp in. This is Lindy's vegetable garden along the side of the shed. We've had this probably 10 years. I don't know. But this is the inside of my shed. Typical church hall. Christmas stuff. Chainsaws. Cushions for the chairs. Archery stuff. Bee stuff. Tarps. Ground cover. Furniture behind there. All that wood stuff it converts my little trailer here into a vehicle that can carry dirt and sod, not sod, but compost and mulch. This is my vegetable garden. This first section is where I started out here with the blackberry bush. And I haven't done well with them. They go crazy, they get sick, and the berries don't do well. So we whipped it out, suppressed it with leaves. This is corn. I'm having 3 sisters. One session, there's 5 mounds in here, 3 mounds in there. And I will plant beans in here. They were planted this week. And there will be squash. And the beans grow on vines, and they will become the support structure for the corn stalks. And the squash grows big leaves and spreads across the ground and shades and keeps the weeds down. So they call them the 3 sisters. The Indians did it. And I guess that's about it. So this probably ran longer than it should. But I don't know. That was scrap lumber we had left over from making the deck. And that was one of those covered things that the roof rotted off, so I put it over here and here and screw it. In the tree at night, Lindy has solar lights that look like teardrops, and they dance, and we call them fairies, and they sit out there and wiggle. Okay, I guess I've babbled long enough. I hope you can understand me. If not, tell me, and I will try to do better next time. And I think I answered all your questions. Bees die, and the hive, I bought a nook, and I don't know how many bees are in a nook, 1,000, 5,000, I don't know. But they're supposed to double because their babies are ready to be born. There were 5 frames, and they're loaded with honey. So they have plenty of stuff. I'm feeding them sugar water to keep them alive.